Teaching is not for everyone. Do you have what it takes to teach? The Southern Miss Teacher Education Program. Professional dispositions. Classroom characteristics.
We'll be able to do that. If one teacher says on the first day of school, oh, you can't eat in my class, but then you see people in your class doing it, it's gonna affect everyone. If she doesn't, or he or she doesn't say anything, everyone's gonna do it. So it's just, you have to be consistent, and teachers have to be able to speak up in a respectful way to their students so that way they know, okay, you can't do this in my class.
That you can use, that you have like a file for hands-on learners, visual learners, auditory learners, all of them. So if somebody says, I don't really understand the way you're teaching, is there anything else I can do? Then you have different resources to help them out so everybody gets the same amount of knowledge.
You know that teacher really loves what they're doing when they put in extra time. You could go to her room anytime after class or at lunch, and she would always be there and help you. She would reiterate things if you needed her to do so. So she just really cared. You could tell by how much effort she put into all of her work.
And I also think that whenever teachers are tech savvy, they can understand the kids more, because we're tech savvy. It really draws us in a little more and makes it more fun to learn.
Reliability and dependability.
Have you been on any sports? Because a lot of times what teachers lack is kind of teamwork, because a class works as like a team. There's different people with different skills, and a lot of kids lack teamwork, and if they can teach the kids that, then they'll really do better in the real world, because if you don't have teamwork, then you should be looking out just for yourself and not other people around you.
And not only I had her first hour, so she was late almost every single day. And then for the second semester, I had her 7th hour, so we were always like rushing to finish before the class was over. But she never really had a lesson plan. And we were, most of the time, we were just sitting there for like almost the entire class time. We didn't have anything to do. And some of us were getting frustrated because the big tests are like state appointed. So everybody had the same test, but not everybody has the same teacher. And so people were passing in other classes, and we were just sitting there. So it was hard, and being prepared is very important. And I see that a lot more clearly now.
The world is changing from day to day, and so do we. We have to change from day to day. We have to keep improving, because if not, we'll be left behind. So just make sure your teachers, everyone on the faculty, make sure they have visions, and they're innovative, and they want to keep progressing and not stay at the same level.
Communication skills.
Like, I took statistics, and my teacher was able to relate statistics to like a polling on sports on the Gallup.com or whatever. But like things like that, you need to know your students well, and also how to reach them to help them learn.
They understand, like, if you tell them your goals and you tell them what you want to accomplish, they can help you get on a path to accomplish those goals. Now, it might not be exactly what you want to do, but it's like, you know, it helps you, and it helps you focus your abilities.
Interpersonal skills.
My favorite teacher was actually Mr. Baraka from Ben Franklin, and he was my favorite teacher because whenever I came to Franklin, I was used to getting all A's, and his class was really a struggle for me. It was my first AV class, but he was actually a really great teacher. He would call out kids randomly and things, and everybody was afraid in his class, but that really caused me to study, and then I got a lot more confident. And he always talks about really random facts that I just remember out of nowhere and everything. He's actually not only my favorite teacher, he's like my favorite person in the world, so I really connected with him like that.
Bring in students with special needs, and we would like read with them, and everybody would like go off in partners, and we would read books, and it was just a really great thing to experience, especially when I was really young. It's just a great thing to see teachers getting involved in clubs, you know, not just being the teacher that teaches your math class or your history class, but that they also want to be part of other things in the school. And it's really inspirational to see stuff like that.
Responsibility.
Really blurry between with professionalism when you're like Facebook friends with your teacher and you see them like drunk on Facebook, and it's like, this is not okay. I don't know if it's not okay. So yeah, that kind of stuff, social media and teachers like following them on Twitter, Instagram, no, that's not okay. Like that messes up the whole professionalism thing. Over the line.
You know, it's too much, because then if you get too close to kids, the parents get a little iffy, the kids get a little iffy, and then you start having suspicions around you, and it's just better to just keep professional, say, I'm a teacher, I might be young, but I'm a teacher, so just get that in your head.
So diversity and culture was something that was always incorporated into every school year, into all of the curriculum. So I think it's important for teachers to embrace that and teach that to students at a young age, because it just makes it easier for them in the future to work with people that are different from themselves. So you just become, I think, a better person in society, and you can really give something to the world that's helpful for all people, not just people that you identify or have similar characteristics to yourself.
Ethics.
It just makes me feel uncomfortable, because I feel like as soon as I tell her something, then she possibly will tell another student. So I feel like you need to maybe draw a line of like confidentiality. Oh, I said that wrong. Confidentiality, yeah.
They can't trust the teacher anymore, and that overflows, it spills over into the academic environment as well as social, because as soon as they violate your trust in one area, you feel like you can't trust them in any others, at which point you can't trust them to teach you, so they can't do their job with you.
Self-reflection and professionalism.
He actually grades the AP exams for European history. He is on the AP board that writes the exams. That's the kind of teachers you want. You want teachers that are like so. He knows his subject. He doesn't know everything about European history, but he knows it well enough to write the national exam for it. So those are the kind of teachers you want, that take opportunities to go to conferences and other activities to learn more, so they can come back and teach your students even more.
Schools, they're their own, cities almost. There are different groups and cultures regardless of what's outside the walls of the building. So when they're put in there, they need to be willing to learn and adapt to that school and integrate.
Southern Miss prepares high-quality teachers and education leaders. We have what it takes. Do you? The University of Southern Mississippi College of Education and Psychology. Making connections, changing lives.